Welcome back to the Matrix. You're not just the Matrix, you are the Matrix. How's it feel, Neo? And today we got ourselves a banger daily market news analysis. What is up? What is up? How's everyone feeling out of 10? Let me know down in the comments below. Make sure you guys are spamming that like button, hitting that share so other people can spam that like button. As of the time of recording, Bitcoin currently sitting at $123,300. And what can we see? Nothing but disbelief from retail. That's what we see. What do we mean? Bitcoin was just at 108,000, and guess what? Nobody believes. Nobody cares. Nobody believes. Nobody cares. Nobody believes. Nobody cares. Nothing but disbelief. And guess what? That's what it's going to be until Ethereum, Solana get into a full new all-time high. But what has Bitcoin done? Has made an all-time high, back tested the prior range, and then now we can see finding it as support. Beautiful, wonderful, magnificent, and we're about to cross to the upside again. Beautiful, wonderful, magnificent. And retail does not care. We do not care. Great, fantastic. At the same time that this is happening, Bitcoin Dominance showing real signs of weakness here. I mean real. This is about as clean of a bearish divergence as you get. What is the bearish divergence? Price is rising, RSI is falling. That is what's happening right now with Bitcoin Dominance. What does this mean? It means it was already weak. It's already in a bear market. We know it to be in a bear market. Why do we know it to be in a bear market? Because of the moving averages. The moving averages, it is in a full-on bear market. And it is going to stay that way for the foreseeable future. Any little moves to the upside are not to be paid any mind until we flip back bullish. And guess what? Right now, we are nowhere near. When we look on the daily, guess what? Nowhere near. Nowhere near. The 200 is clear up here at 62%. We are nowhere near flipping back bullish. And people are freaking out about a little 2% move here. Meanwhile, it looks weak as ever. It looks as weak as I've seen it. Especially on the 5-hour chart. So while all that is happening, Ethereum, Solana looking pretty good as well. But the main thing that looks really good, you know what looks really strong while Bitcoin Dominance looks really weak? Does anybody got a guess? How about Others Dominance? What is Others Dominance? It's just like Bitcoin Dominance, except it is Others. And you know how we talked about a bearish divergence forming for Bitcoin Dominance? Well, we got a bullish one forming for Others. So Bitcoin just made a new all-time high yesterday. Retail does not care. Bitcoin Dominance looking as weak as ever. Retail does not care. They're not going to. This idea, but retail is broke. Great. When they have money, let me know it's time to sell. It is done. It is over with. When they have money, it is over. All right? This is a bullish divergence. Price going down, RSI going up. Beautiful. Magnificent. Wonderful. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Then we'll look at Solana. Then we'll look, by the way, the total 2, the total 3, Others. The Russell hit an all-time high. Everything, everywhere, all at one time, and no one cares. No one cares. So right now, the Russell, again, flirting with making another all-time high. It just made one yesterday. Can we get another one? Can we get a clean breakout right now for the Russell? To me, if the Russell breaks out cleanly, firmly, I have the line in the sand here, $2,508. Guess what the altcoins are going to do? But Ski, I thought alt season was canceled because retail is broke. No. But Ski. All right, let's take a look at Ethereum, and then we'll look at Solana. All right, Ethereum. This is just a big macro uptrend and a back test of this prior resistance over here as support. Wonderful. Magnificent. Fantastic. And you might be like, but we're getting multiple rejections here at the 702. It's neutral on the RSI. We might get back to, if Bitcoin were to get rejected and lose 120, it might come back to 4,200. This low to me is not being taken out. I'm already seeing, by the way, in my comment section, we're in the bear market. All seasons canceled. Music to my ears. The sweet sound of capitulation. It's a lovely tune. It's a wonderful tune. The sweet sound of capitulation. And let's finish it off with, but yeah, I think that by the end of October, I think that Ethereum is in the 5,000s. And y'all thought, listen, all we heard about right here was government shutdown. 5% move to the upside, and people are bullish. A 2% drop, people are bearish again. Nothing quite like price to change sentiment. What does that mean? When price goes up, guess what? Everyone feels amazing about price. When price goes down, it's bear market. Never anything in between. Only one way or the other. All right, let's look at Solana. Sitting at $229. Basically the same as Ethereum. This is a big uptrend. Guess what? This is going to hold. Worst case, if Bitcoin were to get rejected, we're looking at 206. I don't think that Bitcoin's even getting rejected. I think by tomorrow, Ethereum or Bitcoin's going to be getting into the one. What am I trying to say here? Getting into the 125,000s again. Let me save this photo right quick. Here's an interesting photo. I don't know who put it in the Telegram group, but this is according to crypto.com, which they're not the biggest exchange in the world. I get that. They're not the biggest, but they're pretty big. They're probably the third or fourth largest, somewhere in that range. And here we go. This is according to crypto.com as of yesterday. By the way, Bitcoin was at $121,000 yesterday. Not at it wasn't at $30,000. It wasn't at $50,000. It wasn't at 100. It was at 121,000, and this is according to crypto.com. What other? All right. So what is next? This is according to crypto.com's users. Under 120,000, 49% agreed. Above 120,000, below 125, where it's at right now, 50%. Less than 1% thinks that we're going above $125,000. I mean, how far away is $125,000? And you guys think that I'm just making stuff up when I say that retail is pessimistic. We're talking about 1.8%. Bitcoin could do that while I'm live. You guys think I'm making stuff up when I say retail is pessimistic. I mean, my God. Retail cracks me up. Retail cracks me up. All right, let's get into you guys' questions, comments, concerns. We'll start off on YouTube, and then we'll read the TikTok comments. Hi, all but Ski. Hi, Skeeter. All season's been canceled 30 times. $15 XRP. I don't know if we're going to $15. Thank you for the hat and mustache. Yeehaw.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
All right. When alt season. Ayo. Skis. We seeing euphoria soon? I think so. Listen, here's my prediction. By the end of October, Ethereum, Solana will be making all-time highs. Bitcoin will be making all-time highs. And we will quickly flip from neutrally pessimistic to euphoric. There is nothing like price to change sentiment. We need huge candles or no retail. Just degenerates. Listen, I don't want retail. When retail enters the game is over. The game is over. ETH, Soul, Wild. That's a great phrase. What are my targets for others? The end of bull market, I think it's 1.6 trillion. I don't remember off the top of my head. I don't remember off the top of my head. So, okay, 770 billion is my medium case. My bull case is 1.6 trillion. How many months until we start alt season? 3 or 4 months. 3 or 4 weeks. 3 or 4 weeks. Listen, do you know what's going to start alt season? Here it is. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you the most simplest thing. What's the hold up right now? There are 2 things that we need. That's it. Number 1, the Russell needs to firmly break out. 2508 is my target. If this breaks out, that means risk on is up. And number 2, gold does not need to crash, but it needs to chill out. Guess what? Gold is 89 on the daily RSI. The highest it's been since April of 2024. Okay? Before it chilled out and Bitcoin had a really big run. How about the weekly RSI? $87. The highest since April. The time before that was August of 2020. Do you know what happened in August of 2020? What happened after August of 2020? What did crypto do after August of 2020? How about the monthly? 95.30. The most oversold it has been since overbought. I said oversold. Overbought. It has been since December 3rd, 1979. Who here was born in the 1900s? That's all we need. We don't need Bitcoin to crash. We need it to chill out and chop for a little bit while the Russell breaks out. That's when alt season is going to start. Guess what? The Russell already made an all-time high yesterday. Talking about 3 or 4 months, 3 or 4 days, 3 or 4 weeks. It is not, no, it's not 3 or 4 months. We are right here. Here is my line. The green line is what we need to get above. Look at how close we are. Oh, man. 1980. Let's go. LCX, $1.11, 220. All right, Suki. Tony says, you said to remind you at Suki. Okay, let's look at Suki. What is up with Suki? I mean, really, you could just say that this is a triple bottom, high or low here. This is the same spot we were at in June, the same spot we were at in April. If these were to get taken out, I would be a bit more concerned. But the fact that it's just a higher low right now, I think it's fine. Minimum, I still think 18 cents. That's a micro retracement. Bare bones minimum. You're talking to 7x. That's plenty. But I still think macro retracement is more likely, 73 cents. I don't think there's a bit of inflation on Suki, but there's not an ungodly amount. I think Suki is fine. Yeah, I think retracement is what it's going to do. But even just a micro retrace is a 7x. That's plenty. That is plenty. I would say, like, bare bones, it's going to get to the micro 618, which is about 17 to 19 cents. Hopefully that answers your question, Tony. I feel fine about it. There's a little bit more inflation than I would like, but I don't think it's egregious enough to be like deathly concerned. Ultimately, this is just a big accumulation here. Link 3878 178. Others dominance touch 8%. And Russell, yes, sir. Ski, ya boy. 1984, 1964, 1903. My God. My man's a bag of bones. Rose chart, please. Ondo. Which coin possibly 100x? Solnic is my number one 100x play. Ski, do you think alts will peak Q4? Yes. I do. $38.78, $178 for Chainlink. 10, 20, 30 for Render. $0.50, 69 cents, $1.11 for Crow. Sure. January of 26 is fine. Sure. Sure. Ski, where did you learn Wyckoff? Can't find anything good on YouTube. And you won't! I learned it by reading about it. I had a mentor who taught me, and guess what? I watched all those really boring stuff. Listen, there's no, like, entertaining stuff on YouTube about Wyckoff. Wyckoff is extremely difficult. It's extremely boring to learn. If you want to go on YouTube for free, you can find, like, professors that are like Bueller, and really, that's it. And just reading about it. I teach about it in the Telegram. but there's no easy way to learn about Wyckoff. When will Rose reach 20 cents, bro? 20, 40, 100. Rose looks pretty good, bro. Let's see. I had a mentor. That's how I learned. And then I took it and ran. Yeah, Rose is on an uptrend, higher lows. And it's broken this downtrend. It looks pretty good. Bare minimum for Rose is 11 cents. I think it will probably go north of 28 cents, though. That's what I think. V-Chain needs to wake up. I agree. Gala has too much inflation for me. Pingu. A lot of people like Pingu. Not really my cup of tea. It's fine. It's kind of on a bit of a downtrend here. I don't want to see another lower low, because if you do, you're probably going to test 1.8. If the market picks up, though, it's probably going to go to 5.7 cents. What about ICP? 20, 40, 100. Somebody get Cardano or Red Bull. Flux Good's good too. I agree. Verily, verily, Kaka. Again, I say unto you. Q4. Here's what's going to start alt season. Are you ready? I'm going to tell you guys. I'm going to give you the answer to the test. So Kaka is asking me, when is alt season going to peak? And in our brains, we see alt season not very high. We see others way down there. Total 2 just made an all-time high. Total 3 just made an all-time high. When is alt season going to start? When the Russell gets above this green line. Guess what? That could be tomorrow. That's it. And I think what you're saying and what people think is like, because we're boring and we're in accumulation on a lot of stuff, that we're going to have this gradual rise up, and that's not true. It flips violently. So if you're asking me, what is my answer? My answer is Q4. By December. Can we go into Q1, Q2? Sure. But that's not my prediction. And if you're telling me that all the other influencers are saying Q1, Q2, let me tell you what's not going to happen. If you're telling me every other influencer is saying Q1, Q2, let me tell you what will not be happening. Thank you for the $2 donation. Ya savages.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Spell sitting at 0.0000000000044. 0.000000004. Now, listen, I think that there's a good chance that this is the shortest bear market ever. I think there's a good chance that this is the least, like, ROI percentage pull down ever. But if every influencer is saying Q1, Q2, guess what's not happening? Because you know what every influencer said November of 2022? They said we were going to 12K. You know what every influencer said March of 2023? They said we were going to 12K. You know what they said? 9/11/2023 when Bitcoin pulled back to 25K, they said we're going to 12K. They said we'd never go to 100. They said the bull market is canceled. When Japan cut their rates, they said we're going into a recession bear market. They said all season is canceled. So if they're now telling you Q1, Q2, let me tell you what's not happening. Let me tell you what will not be happening. What percentage do you think of 2021 altcoins were euphoric that were also euphoric in 2017? Even the ones, so there wasn't that many coins. There was Litecoin, there was Ethereum, there was XRP. There wasn't that many coins that existed. There was Dogecoin. About half of them went euphoric. Even the ones that didn't go euphoric, like XRP, it still went euphoric because it still had, crazy 10 plus X gains, even though it only retraced. Bro, every altcoin have it unique chart. Would you still hold ETH now or put it into large alts? I don't hold any ETH. I trade ETH, but I don't hold ETH. I'm not a huge fan. I'd rather hold, I don't know, probably HBAR, Solana. Here's what I'll say, SM26. I'll say if we measure by others, it will go euphoric. I'm not going to say case by case, chart by chart. I have no idea. But if we're measuring it by others, I think that goes into price discovery, a.k.a. $800 billion market cap, as high as 1.6 trillion. So what is others? Others is everything outside of the top 10. So if you go on like CoinMarketCap and we look at, you got Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, Tether, all the way down to number 11, Hyperliquid. So Hyperliquid is the first coin in others, and we go all the way down. This is others. Now, I don't know. I have my theories on which ones are going to do well, which ones may not. But generally, others, when we put all these into a basket and measure the market cap, that's what others is. When people think about alt season, they're not talking about Ethereum. They're not talking about BNB. They're not talking about Tether. They're talking about others. So if you're asking me what I think others is going to do, it's 800 billion to 1.6 trillion. Now, case by case, I don't know. There's going to be some things with bad inflation. There'll be stuff with bad tokenomics. There's going to be lots of variables. But the overall broader index is going to be moving up into price discovery. Sup, Ski? Solnick $250 million market cap by November 15th, 2025. You heard it here first. Beam price prediction. I don't remember. I don't mind this. This is distribution, markdown, accumulation. 2 cents. As high as 6 cents. Ski, your top 5 mid caps. I don't know that I have 5. Flux. Oh. Flux would be number 1. All right, what are we classifying as mid caps? Let's make the rules here. Oop. So let's say for a mid cap, it needs to be. What are we going to make the number? Market cap has to be under 500 million. We'll say 500 to 100 million. That's going to be the criteria of a mid cap. All right, so what are my favorite mid caps? So Flux is number 1. Helium. I don't mind Neo. I don't know if I'm going to put that in top 5, though. What do we got? Flux, HNT. I don't have like a huge mid cap portfolio, to be honest with you. Rose. Let's just look at the whole list here. Chia. LCX. There you go. That's a solid list. LCX, Chia, Flux, Rose. What was the other one? H&T. That is my top 5 mid caps. The Web, thanks for becoming a member for 9 months, you savage. The cream rises to the top.
The cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Solnick will eventually be there. It will eventually be there. We're going to get into the $100 million market cap. Let's see what the rest of the list is. Ooh, I'm going to pull out Chia. I'm going to put in XYO. Let me look at everything so I didn't put nothing in there that shouldn't be in there. Let me go all the way down to 100 million. I'm going to pull out Chia and put in XYO. All right, that's good. Yep, I'm good with that. I have an important indicator. After we reach alt season, what indicators tell us it came to an end? Okay, here's a good one. Here's a very simple one. Here's a super simple one, okay? Right now on TikTok, I have 121 people chilling, watching me. Speak fluent Japanese, right? I'm fluent in Japanese. All right, if you come back here and it's at 400, 500, that's your sign. That is an easy peasy, lemon squeezy way of knowing we are too hot. If you look on if you go onto free apps and you see Coinbase, Robinhood, Kraken, top 10, top 20, it's over. Those are easy, like anybody can recognize that. You don't need to be a charts nerd to recognize it. Now I'm going to be looking for other things, but those are very simple ones. If Robinhood is top 10, If Coinbase is top 10, if Kraken is top 10, if any exchange like that is top 10, if you go and you see my live viewership, we're sitting at 111. If we're at 411, guess what? We are too hot. Because guess what? People don't care until it's too late. That's a good question. But those are like, without getting too much in the weeds, just simple pass fail. Anybody can recognize that. Can you explain on the chart when alt season? When the Russell gets above 2,500. Is it 2,500? Alt season will begin firmly. Yes. After the Russell gets above $2,508, alt season will firmly begin. And it will be noticeable. Coinbase entering top 10 downloaded apps. That's time to get out. I agree. Is it bad for alts that DXY and gold are both increasing at the same time? Temporarily, until it's not. Again, gold is the most hot. It's the most overbought that it has been since 1979. Guess what? That's not sustainable, even for gold. Even for gold, the oldest asset in the world. It too has bear markets. That's not sustainable. Where do you see Bitcoin and ETH at the bear market? I think if we're lucky, Bitcoin gets back to 100K. I think the worst probable case is 70K. But probably the worst case is 100K. Ethereum is probably 4,800. 4,500. What is the Russell? The Russell, in a nutshell, Sandy. Thank you for... The hat and mustache went on top of the Russell. That's hilarious. That is hilarious.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
That's funny. Thank you for the hat and mustache. Sandy, in a nutshell, the Russell is a way of measuring risk on assets. What is crypto? Crypto is a risk on asset. If this goes into an all-time high, the Russell basically is the altcoins of the stocks. The Russell is basically alt season of stocks. And so when this breaks out, what is that an indication of? It's telling us it's risk on assets. What is the most risk on asset in the planet? Cryptocurrency. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. Price targets for near 3 to 5x. What is driving the 2508 trigger for Russell? Are you asking me why that number is significant? Is that what you're asking me? Or are you asking me what's going to get it there? Would you buy ZEC? No. Coinbase is ranking around 260 currently. We got a ways to go then. Listen, I don't think it necessarily needs to be number one, but it should be top 25. You know what I mean? Before your spidey senses are going off. All right, he says yes. Okay, this is a good question by Bonnie. So Bonnie says, why 2508? What is the relevance of that number? It doesn't look like a previous high. That, I would say you are correct. Okay, now let's zoom out. You could already pretty much classify it now, but to me, this specifically is the number where it is undeniable that it is a breakout, right? Because a lot of times you might go slightly above and then get rejected, like we did over here, right? It's the exact same thing happened. By the way, November of 2024 is when the last time the Russell peaked. We had a mini alt season then, too. Just so everyone's tracking. The time before that was November of 2021. Just so everyone is tracking, okay? Now, why do I have it here? Because what can happen a lot of times, the highest level of resistance is going to be, which resistance is just like a point that's holding you down that you cannot break above. The highest level of resistance is going to be the all-time high. What happens a lot of times in charts, you see, it will slightly go above the previous all-time high, and it's a trick for traders. And then you get rejected, right? Nasty rejection. Okay? The reason that I have it here, because that is an undeniable breakout. There is no more rejection. Now, we might get rejected and then backtest, fine. But this to me is that's the point where it is no longer a double or a triple top. It is a breakout at that point. And a breakout would mean that we're going to go most likely to the 1618. And if we were to pull that, we're talking about 2,900. That's going to be more than enough to be more than enough. Okay, so that, it's no magical number. It's just a structural point where you can no longer say that it is a double or a triple top, which you could probably say it now. But I'm not going to be early on that. I'm going to wait and let it do its thing. But that is the point where it is a full significant level higher than the previous all-time high, to where you can no longer classify it as a double or a triple top. That's why it's significant for me. Hopefully that answers your question. Thank you for the $2 donation, brother. Yeah, savage.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
You think Moonwell can reach 80 cents? I don't know. VeChain, 10, 20, 40, 60 cents. Not the start. Yes, right. But so, okay. That's a good point. So Bonnie's saying, okay, good. Bonnie is saying, the last time we heard it was at the end, not the beginning. I agree. But what did we get before that? We got what is called distribution. So we ran up to the peak in February of 2021. All right, so if I zoom out and I label this for you, so the Russell, traditional markets are not going to behave like a meme coin. You get very traditional Wyckoff. So you got your buying climax. You got your UT. And I'm going to show you textbook. And then you get your UTAD. Right? This is a behavior of a top. This is what a top looks like. And then you get, you'll probably get some sort of bearish divergence, forming here. Clearly you got, right? So this is a bearish divergence. What does this mean? The RSI is going down as the price is staying the same. That's bearish divergence. We don't have any of that. All right, so now you had a big run up from the C19 crash all the way till the buying climax, which was March of 2021, which was the start of alt season. So the highest point was November. It was the end. But then when we look at it, right? So this is why the Russell is very important. You might be thinking that this is a separate entity of crypto. No, it is not. To Bonnie's point, no, it is not. Right? This told us it was the end. And then let me show you. Let's show you like textbook. It gave us textbook topping structure. Textbook topping structure, which is right here. This is Wyckoff distribution, which is a topping structure. You have a big run up, your buying climax, your up thrust goes higher than the buying climax. UTAD is the highest point. It goes higher than the up thrust, and then it is good night Charlene after that. Okay, so what did the Russell do? Man, this is good. Y'all better be taking notes. What did the Russell do? We had a big run up into the buying climax. The buying climax of the Russell was when? March of 2021. What started in March of 2021? Okay, and yes, you had your buying climax, your UT, your UTAD was November. That was it. That was the end. Correct. Correctamundo. This is distribution. All right. Clear. Clear as day. So even if we were going to double top here and then we were going to distribute from here, that would be the start. We would get, because the Russell isn't going to behave like a meme coin. It's going to give you a nice distribution. That's what's going to happen. Okay? It's going to give you this nice, pretty textbook distribution. That will be what happens. Okay? And then you go into a textbook accumulation. Same thing. This is your markdown, selling climax, secondary test, your spring. That's textbook. That's as textbook as it gets. If I were teaching Wyckoff, this is literally as textbook as it gets. Okay? Now, let's fast forward. So that's part of it. That's textbook distribution, which you could see. That was when alt season was happening. Right? That's number one. Now, here's the crazy part, though. I don't think we're just going to get a distribution here. I don't think that that's what's happening. Because from here, that's just like worst case, is we're going to get a distribution, we go into alt season, fine. But from here, this was actually, from this point until this point, 80% of the money that has ever existed has been printed. What does that mean? That means a dollar is not a dollar. So what do I actually think is going to happen for the Russell is we're going to cleanly break out. We're going to get our buying climax. We're going to get one of these numbers, and we're going to do just like that. That's what I think is going to happen. All right, so even if, though, let's say to Bonnie's point, even if it's just a triple top and we go into distribution, fine, I'm for it. You know what that means? That means it's the start. Man, oh man. I hope y'all took notes. This is powerful stuff that they don't teach you. You're not hearing no other influencer break it down like that. I promise you. Come on, man. I love teaching y'all. I love it. All right. top, man, is really a kind of irrelevant. Listen, here's my prediction. I think that the Russell goes into price discovery. Worst case, though, it's going to top out here and it's going to distribute. Either is fine with me. But yes, it gave us like a clear bearish divergence here. There's multitude of signs of like it being the end. We don't have that. We don't have a bearish divergence taking place right now. The RSI is still rising. The price is still rising. And again, this isn't... I get it. If you want to be like, crypto doesn't behave like traditional finance, sure. I don't believe that. But this is the most traditional finance it gets. It does behave that way. Emphatically. Undeniably. All right, I would argue that this is the same like C19 spring that we got over here. And then what did we get? Like, you got a C19 spring and you went into price discovery. Where did it go to? What was the top over here back in 18 on the Russell? Where'd we go? The 1618. Come on now. So that's what I think is going to happen. I think it's going to do the exact same thing. This, to me, this move right here is this move right here. This move right here is this move right here. In fact, let's pull a fractal on it. Boom. Come on now. Right to the 1618. Come on now. It's pretty damn clean. Let's make it the same. There you go. That's my prediction. Y'all better take notes, damn it. Ain't nobody breaking it down like that, I promise you. Matter of fact, somebody give me a screen recording of that. Cause I need to clip that. Bonnie brought out the best in me. And I appreciate it. Come on now. Shout out to you, Bonnie, for being curious, but not being... This is the right way to be, okay? Being curious, skeptical and curious, but not being, like, gross. You know what I mean? Ah, I love it. Let him cook. Do you teach trading? I do. Legit, clip it. Listen, Jordan says, can we short BNB yet? It's dangerous to short a breakout. Listen, I don't know. Listen, Bonnie, if that's what you got as far as like timing, that is not my strength, is timing. Sure. Can we do all that? That's fine. For me, like, I'm looking at the structure of it. I'm looking at the structure. The timing to me is less relevant than the actual, than the whole thing of it at all. So, yeah, this has us in January, Q1, sure. All that really matters is Solnick is going to 10 cents. 100%. Someone was asking me, holy guacamole. Someone was asking me to look at the the Solnick chart. Solnick to me is still just doing higher lows. Even with the... Yeah, Solnic is looking really good. Look at this. Come on now. Bro, it don't get no cleaner than this. That's as clean as it gets. Distribution, markdown, selling climax, secondary test in phase B, LPS. Higher low, higher low, higher low. Come on now. It don't get any cleaner than this, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know. So what we just talked about was distribution. This is accumulation. Let me know a sub $20 million market cap that has a clean setup like this. I'll buy it right now. The opposite of distribution is accumulation. That's a bottoming structure. Now, does that mean off to Valhalla tomorrow? I don't know. But that's what a bottoming structure looks like. Just like what we talked about with the Russell topping structure. This is the opposite. Think Shiba can 5x. Maybe. Yeah, I think that's possible. It's me. Buy the structure. Really appreciate the lesson. Thanks. No problem. How's ETH looking? ETH's looking fine. You guys just missed a banger. Listen, if you're watching on TikTok, you need to watch. I'll probably make a video later, actually, because this is like really valuable. And this, you guys witnessed me like figure this out live. Okay. You guys witnessed me figure this out live with the correct questions. Right? Curious questions, wanting real answers, being skeptical, but not being like a hater or you know what I mean? So you guys just witnessed me figure this out live. So I'll probably make a video later, but I'll probably make like a 15-minute video later explaining everything that we just did here, but you guys should check that out if you didn't see the whole live stream. But I do have to run. Okay. Yep, I gotta go. That's gonna be it for this time, guys. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. If you are watching this and you clip this on YouTube or something, send it to me. I will reward you in some Solnic. All right. Because that was really good, really important, and a very, very big piece of data for the bigger thing. All right, guys. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I'll be live probably about the same time tomorrow. I'll be live a little bit longer tomorrow. I have some stuff that I got to take care of in my personal life. All right, guys. I will never message you first. If your boy Ski, someone with my name, image, or likeness says, how's your trading going? Guess what? It ain't me, bro. I love you, but it ain't me. All right. Peace, love, prosperity. God.